What is the number one sleeping pills secret that doctors don't want you to know? Hey, it's Coach Vuka, and today I want to talk with you about what is the number one sleeping pill secret that doctors don't want you to know. And if you right now are somebody who is struggling with having bad sleep at night and you're wondering, should I take sleeping pills? Or maybe you're taking sleeping pills already, but you're feeling like they are not working so well, bringing you that good, restful, deep sleep at night. Well, in this episode, we're gonna find out the big secret that a lot of doctors have been keeping for quite a while now. We're gonna find out today, you and me together. So, here's my agenda for this episode. 3 things. First of all, I'm gonna share with you our next story inside the sleep series as it relates to the number one secret that doctors are keeping away when it comes to sleeping pills. When it comes to these guys. Second, I'm gonna play the doctor game with you. That's right. I'm gonna give you the stethoscope. You're gonna play doctor, and you are going to discover what is the number one secret that doctors are keeping when it comes to sleeping pills. That is going to be exciting. And finally, I'm going to reveal one thing that beats sleeping pills any single day. So, a lot of good things coming up in this episode. Make sure you watch till the end also, because there's something very interesting coming up with the sleep series I'm going to reveal right at the end. So, with all of that said, let's get started. So, today's episode we begin with Ron. Ron is a man who loves selling as Picasso loves painting. He has sold for the last 20 years apple pies. But last time we saw him, he made a deal with Oasis, the sleep vampire. And through that deal, Oasis forced Ron to stop selling. So right now, Ron was like a Picasso with a white canvas in front of him, with holding a paintbrush, a green paintbrush, but he could not draw on that paper. He was forbidden. He was a Picasso with a white sheet of paper and no paintbrushes. So Ron, now he felt so sad, so depressed that he fell into insomnia. He started having trouble falling asleep, so he decided, hey, why not just take a sleeping pill? So that's what he did. He went to his doctor, he asked for sleeping pills, and his doctor, he said, okay, I'm going to give you sleeping pills, but for only 3 weeks. After that, I want you to stop taking them. Ron said, okay. He took the sleeping pills home, and that night he slept for the next 3 weeks. He slept well. But after 3 weeks, what do you think happened? Right after the 3rd week, on Monday, the 4th week, when all the sleep pills disappeared, did Ron sleep that night? Well, no, he did not. He kept turning around all night long, and in the morning, he felt really tired and afraid. Like, have you ever felt like that during the night time when you were trying to fall asleep, thinking to yourself that maybe the light isn't perfect, or that you just need something, that if you only had something, you would definitely fall asleep, whether it was a sleeping pill, or maybe some type of tea, or some food that you typically eat, but you did not have that. Have you ever had something like that when you had it before you were taking it, but now it was gone? Well, that is how Ron was feeling right now without those sleeping pills. He felt he could not fall asleep, so he did not. So the next morning, what did he do? He went back to his doctor and he asked him, hey, I want some more sleeping pills. The doctor, however, said no. What do you mean no? Asked Ron. I want sleeping pills. Doctor said nope. So what Ron did was he took a cashier's check. He took out his ball pen and he wrote on that check $10,000, and he slid the check to his doctor. His doctor looked at the number, his eyes flashed big, but he returned the check back to Ron. Ron was amused at this. He thought for a moment and then he added another zero. So now there was a check for $100,000 in front of the doctor. He gave it to him. That doctor, if he could take that $100,000 check, what would you buy with that, by the way? $100,000, you could buy a house, a 2-floor house with a swimming pool, and you're gonna even have some extra for a good breed of dog, like a breed Dalmatians dog. That's a lot of money. But the doctor did not take the money again. Why? What was going on? Was it the morals? Asked Ron. The doctor said, here's why I'm not taking the money. There was this study that they did recently, and now as we go into the study, I want you and me to play the doctor game. What's the doctor game? You imagine that you put on a white coat, and imagine you are a doctor. You're wearing a white coat, you can feel the weight of a stethoscope around your neck, and all your friends are also doctors. You guys are talking about doctor stuff, and one day one of your doctor buddies, as you guys are chatting over ham and tuna sandwiches in the doctor's cafeteria, one of your friends says, hey, I think this sleeping pills thing, I think it's not that good. What do you guys think? Everybody says, sleeping pills, they are the thing. They help people sleep for 100 years now. What do you mean? Well, that guy, your friend, your doctor friend says, nope, I think sleeping pills, I think something is wrong there. So, how about we made a study? And that is what they did. They took, now you and your doctor friends, imagine you guys took 4,000 people with sleep problems. You separated these 4,000 people into two groups. On this side, we have people who we give sleeping pills to help them sleep. And on this side, we have people who we give placebos and telling them they are sleeping pills. Now, you've done that, and it's been 3 months later, and you and your other friends are looking at the results. Who has slept better? The people who were given sleeping pills, or the people who were given the placebo? And before I reveal the answer, well, I'm curious, what do you think? Comment down below. Sleeping pills or placebo? What worked better? Well, all the doctors, they thought it's gonna be the sleeping pills. We've been prescribing this for the last 100 years. Of course it's gonna be sleeping pills, but what happened was the doctors were shocked to discover when they looked at the results. They found out between the group the 2,000 people taking the sleep pills and the 2,000 people taking the placebo, what was the result? What was the difference? There was no difference. I mean absolutely no difference between the quality of the sleep of those who took sleeping pills and those who took placebos. The doctors actually said, and I wrote this, they said, and we conclude the effect of sleep pills is rather small and of questionable clinical importance. In translation, they were saying, sleep pills don't fucking work. What is going on, we don't know, but apparently the ones that we have so far, they are not cutting it. They're as good as placebos. And when Ron heard that, he was like, and by the way, you might be thinking, well, if that's true, if sleeping pills are really as good as placebos, then what do I do? How do I fall asleep instead? Well, that is what we're gonna find out in just a few minutes. But before we go there, let's go back to Ron. So Ron is hearing that from his doctor, and now once again he becomes sad again. He feels like a Picasso who not only cannot draw but cannot sleep either. And right now Ron is feeling that emptiness inside him. He's feeling the pain of being a painter, of being a salesman who cannot sell even stronger, even deeper inside him. And I want to ask you, have you ever felt like that, like you had a big emptiness inside you? I've definitely felt like that when I used to struggle with insomnia. I felt like life was empty, and that was probably one of the reasons why I stuffed myself up with all kinds of food, and I needed to watch and I used to watch a whole season of Game of Thrones for a 48-hour period just to feel something, just because I wanted to experience something, anything. And it wasn't until I discovered how to cure my own insomnia that life started having meaning again, that life started becoming rich and bright as a Picasso painting. And I realized it was when you have something big, something that is exciting for you, that is when life becomes rich and you're just happy. It's not an end goal. It is something that it is a road. It is a journey that inspires you. So that's just an extra tip right there. If you ever feel like life is a little bit empty, just find something that inspires you. But now this is the sleep channel. We need to go back to sleep, me and you. Let's see, where are we with this episode? Right, Ron. So what did Ron do now? Well, last time Ron didn't sleep, and that was back in the previous season. What he did was he summoned Somnus, the god of sleep. So that is what he did right now. He said, I'm not gonna go into the theatrics this time. He called him up. He's a salesman. He knows how to get on the phone. So he called up Somnus for help. And Somnus, with his purple suit and bright yellow tie, he appeared in front of him with his white beard, white as the surface of the waves. And Ron told Somnus about his story, about all those sleepless nights that he's been having, and he told that over a kitchen table where he had an apple pie and Somnus munching on a nice steaming hot apple pie, he listened to Ron's story, and finally Somnus told Ron exactly what he needed to do to fix his problem. And what did Somnus told him? But before we go there, I want to talk with you right now real quick about what you can do instead of using those sleeping pills, right? Well, what you can do, here's the thing. If you want good sleep, you want to develop thick skin. Think back to The Princess and the Pea. In that story, in Hans Christian Andersen's story, one small little green pea kept that princess awake the whole night. The princess had weak skin, so she did not sleep. When you have thick skin, thick as a rhino, thick as an elephant skin, that is when you can sleep. And you might be asking yourself, well, how do I develop a thick skin? Well, how did Batman, let me ask you, how did Batman become Batman? Batman became Batman by practicing different exercises, physical exercises that allowed him to become who he is. You develop a thick skin that protects your sleep the exact same way by doing specific exercises. And if you want to know more about how I develop a thick skin that protects my sleep every single night today, look down in the description and you'll find that out. Now, going back to Ron and Somnus. Ron and Somnus again were chatting. What did Somnus tell Ron to do with his situation? Well, Somnus asked Ron, well, Ron, do you really have a sleep problem or do you have a passion problem? What do you mean? Asked Ron. Well, Somnus asked him, if you were selling again, would you have trouble sleeping? Ron said, of course not. And the only reason he realized that he wasn't sleeping was because he wasn't doing the thing that he really loved because it was forbidden. So, Somnus said, okay. He snapped his fingers and a new contract appeared before Ron. And on that contract there was only one line and it said this: by signing this contract, you become chief negotiator of this firm. Ron read that and he realized how genius this was. Selling and negotiating, they're kind of the same thing. It's like saying I'm a painter or I'm a painter or I'm an artist. It's a little bit different, but it's kind of the same thing. Same thing with sales and negotiation. Ron is forbidden from selling, but he's not forbidden from negotiating. So Ron immediately took that, he signed it, and he said, this is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. I can get back. This means I can get back to selling. Someone said, no, not selling, but negotiating. And Ron said, all right. How do I thank you? Someone thought for a moment, stroking his white beard, and he said, give me some apple pies. And he took 3 more pieces of apple pie, one for himself, one for his son Morpheus, and one for his other son Phobos. And then he went back home. And Ron that night, he slept peacefully. So, that is it for today's episode. Coming up next, we have some. Oh man, what do we have coming up? Real quick, let me tell you. And then I need to record another video for a friend of mine. Something that I said I was gonna do this week. Today is Saturday for me. So right now I really wanna get to that. But before I do, let me give you a preview of what's coming up next on sleep. So, in the next few episodes, we're going to see Somnus, the god of sleep, on a bed, but he's not sleeping. Instead, the god of sleep is having a sleepless night. He cannot sleep. What is going on? How is it that the god of sleep cannot sleep? What happened there? Well, that is what we're gonna find out. And also, next time, December 6th, Julia is coming back. The woman who arises is right now plunging her teeth into her and sapping away her sleep. We're gonna go back to Julia and find out what is she going to do, and is her good sleep going to return, or is she going to have more bad sleep? That's what we're gonna find out next time. And so tune in. Which date was it? And by the way, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe down below. And if you haven't, just subscribe down below. And right after you do, make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so that you get notified as soon as our next episode airs. And that is going to be on December 6th. December 6th. And on December... let me just check. I have it in another notebook actually. I believe it is December 23rd that we have a big announcement coming up. But just to be sure, so that you don't miss anything up, make sure after you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Big things, big exciting things I have for this channel, for you and for your sleep. So tune in next time, and I'll see you very, very soon. Have a good day and have a good